Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to I'm a Basshole. I'm your host, Doug Bass. Thanks for joining us on the podcast today. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Basshole Podcast or at Basshole Show. The website is bassholeshow.com. Make sure you subscribe and review the podcast on iTunes and Spotify and wherever you get your podcast fix. Wherever you're listening to this, subscribe and review because it'll help us out in the long run. Don't be an asshole. Subscribe. All right. Well, we've got a great show today, guys. We've got a packed crew in the Basshole Studios today. I'm really excited. Our guest today is stand-up comedian Johnny Sanchez. You might know him from a little show called Mad TV. He was on that back in the day. Well, it's not on anymore, right?
Yeah, it's been a while, bro.
It's not? What?
All right.
It's been a minute.
Well, welcome Johnny Sanchez, and Rob DeRocha is here.
Johnny's also got a bunch of specials.
Specials.
HBO,
Oh, that's all right,
Comedy
dude. That's-
Central.
All right. Well, the list goes on. There
What
you go.
happened to you? What happened?
Yeah, remember? What did I tell you? The show I wanted to do. And
Yeah.
What happened to Johnny Sanchez? Is that the name?
Yeah.
That's going to be your new special? What happened to Johnny Sanchez?
Yeah.
No, like
a curb your
like a
enthusiasm.
curb
yeah.
type show, because so many people that I would have run into years later who left LA. By the way, thanks for having me.
Hey,
by the way.
thanks for being here. Thanks. I know we just jump in sometimes.
Oh yeah,
no.
absolutely. And then so either they'd get a hold of me on social media or something, or I'd run into somebody, and typically from the Comedy Store where I started, and then
Which his name is up on the wall.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
There you go.
So, which was supposed to be the Wall of Fame, by the way. I
do you
got
mean?
put above the main room
What's
double
the wall?
doors.
Oh, yeah?
Is the
Oh,
wall
really?
is the Wall of Fame a different? There's a section at the store
There was
called that?
at the time, Mitzi had this one section above the two main room at the entrance into the main room,
Right.
on the outside, of course. And so she had Eddie and up there, whatever, and she had these, I guess, predictions. So I was one that she was like, he's gonna be great. You're gonna be huge. You're gonna be great. So I got put on the wall of
Wall of Fame. I
the
didn't even
shame
know.
now. Yeah,
It's a
that
wall
was-
of shame
is
now.
that-
no, it's not a wall of shame, but it was one of those things where it was like a big deal at the time. But here's the weird thing. I was so proud of it at the time, but then everybody else who has their name all over around circling, they take pictures next. Like I can never take a picture next
Because it's
to,
all the way. It's all the way to the top. You have to get a ladder to go do it. Yeah, right. Get
But
a
anyway-
drone and just like send it
Yeah,
up there.
a drone. Oh my God, that's hilarious. A drone. Yeah. So I would. Anyway, we
ran into this one guy.
Oh, that's right. That's where it started.
But he was like over the top. Like he wouldn't stop. You know, Elliot.
Elliot.
I don't know if Elliot's listening.
Oh
But,
yeah, I'm sure.
anyways, Elliot from Barney's.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, he's the guy that had that show during the pandemic at
he
that
had
house.
The show, he had the
I know
pandemic
it is.
show. What was it called? The
don't know.
Super Spreader.
right,
So this guy Elliot shows up and he's just like he's drunk and he sees Johnny. He's like, man, Johnny, like, because Johnny, first of all, I don't know if you've ever seen him perform, but he's fucking. I've always like looked up to him and he fucking hilarious comedian, like fucking kills it everywhere he goes. But this guy just kept on going on, like, what happened?
What
to you,
happened,
man?
dude?
What happened?
I mean, you were the hottest dude at the store, man.
You were in the Hall of Fame.
You were on the Wall of Fame. But I would get that so many times from people,
Really?
or they move back to St. Louis and Arkansas and wherever, right? And then they'd find me on social media, and they'd go, "Dude, when I left LA, everyone said to me, who's gonna be the next biggest Johnny Sanchez? What happened?" So I told him, I literally want to do this show where it's like, what happened? And
Yeah.
even Bobby Lee says it to me. Still to this
exactly.
day.
Yeah.
He
Bobby
says,
goes,
"What
what
happened?"
happened? I don't get it.
Why are people so rude though? It's like
I don't
you're
think they're
living
being
your life as
rude.
a it's a stand-up comedy.
It's a
comedian.
backhanded compliment. It's a
Right.
compliment, but they don't.
Are you
understand.
happy? Are you happy doing your career, your stand-up where it is now? You want it to excel, obviously. I don't know. Like, are you content? That's the thing. It's like people have to ask though.
Right. Are you asking me right now?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I mean,
So what happened to you? No,
Johnny's asking himself, what happened to me?
and I told him, I go, dude, I should just do like a curb type show where it's like I keep running into people that I worked with.
Yeah, like I mean, I think it'd be great because you are hilarious and you get annoyed with people or like when they do stuff like that, and then you just like you give a look just like to people that are your friends, like, can you believe this is happening?
Yeah, still happening. That's why when he was like, well, he's done this, he's done that. Yeah. I mean, listen, I had a development deal in the late 90s. I did a Happy Feet.
That's right. I saw that. I was looking up your Happy Feet. That was a huge
Happy Feet. You were on TV shows. You did. My Name is Earl, right or no?
I did not. My name is.
You did one of those type of shows.
So you were working actor, voice actor, live actor.
TV shows.
This guy's the mimicker. Like he can mimic anybody's voice. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh no, I don't think I'm that good. I think I always sound like myself, a little bit like the person. Like Phil Hartman, remember Phil?
Yeah.
Well, that's
as great as Phil. Yeah, but you remember as great as Phil Hartman was when he was doing Sinatra and Clinton and whatever. You knew it was Phil Hartman if you weren't watching. If you were not in front of your television,
right? You'd go because he had such a distinct voice to begin with.
Even on The Simpsons, you just know it's him.
I'm Troy McClure.
I'm Lionel Hutz.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
You might remember me by. You might remember. Yeah, you might remember.
You might remember me from such films as whatever he says.
Yeah.
So in a weird way, everybody's been a basshole to me.
Yeah, they
I think so.
They really are. Like prying into why not just say like, hey, good to see you, man. You look great.
Yeah.
No, they don't do that.
No, they don't do that.
Oh, and then
they pick you apart.
I mean, there was like for a good hour.
There was this one lady at the Comedy Store who I hadn't seen in years, and then speaking of like, oh, you still look at, she sees me. She's like, Johnny, and I go, yeah, hey, what's up? I couldn't remember her name. She's like, damn, this business. Brutal. Look at you. And then Eleanor
was she like, Asian?
Yeah. And Eleanor goes, what are you talking? Eleanor Kerrigan goes, what are you talking about? He looks good. And then she's like, Man,
Eleanor's trying to back you up and be like, he's fine.
She's just like, this business just tear people up. I go, damn, really? And this was like 10 years ago.
Yeah. It's like when you have like no success, like me or us. It's like people don't really like, hey, what happened to you?
No one ever says
people are
that.
just like, oh, look, they're still around doing their thing. They're still trying. But it's
a weird category though, because if you're like, okay, if you haven't, let's just say you haven't had any, let's say successes with being on a TV show or something like, where you're a regular or whatever. I remember having this debate with Pauly Shore. Because this was the same thing about 10, 12 years ago. He was like, brutal, bro.
Yeah,
like
that
Hollywood.
guy with the weasel was killing it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Yeah. Our debate was, is it better to have made it and then you're kind of gone?
It's a good question.
And then, or you don't quite make it. And my conclusion with that is, seeing now that people are nostalgic and they still want to see Kid and Play, and they still want to see Pauly Shore, I think it's better to have hit big.
You hit, and then you can live off of that thing that you've been doing the whole time. It's harder. It's harder to reinvent yourself, I would say. Obviously,
correct.
Correct. Or you can be a working comedian or actor or whatever. No one knows who you are, but you're making a living doing it, and I don't know. Like there's that path too.
Kind of like a I don't mean this. He's one of my favorites, but like a Brian Regan, who is not a household name, but we all know how great he is.
Right.
And he's legendary in the comedy scene, right?
Yeah,
right.
My sisters don't know who he is. My parents don't.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? But he's been steady, great career.
Right.
So when I was talking to Pauly about it that one time, Pauly's like, nah, bro, it's worse, buddy. Like, to go from, and I go, I don't think so, dude, because you're still, people are coming to see, and almost it's like a resurgence now because the gap has been so long.
Yeah, but it's like you don't know what they're like. what their thoughts
is.
are of it. Because like if you are whoever, a comic that was huge in the 90s or whatever, and now is just like, you might be tired of this shit. You might be tired of the same fucking, I have to do this, and then the crowd's gonna love that.
I know.
Because you know what's funny?
So it's like you're successful, but like you haven't been able to reinvent yourself. You are stuck doing the same thing, and people are gonna know you for that.
That's a tough one, dude.
I think it comes down to the kind of artist that the person is, really.
Yeah.
And it's like if you are a comic that has like a niche, then you are gonna be that. If you're a comic that is also an actor and you try to branch out and do like dramatic roles and you're successful at it, then that's a way you can go with it, But
Because who it's so funny we're talking about this because just yesterday Dana Carvey's going to be on somebody's late night, and I sat back and I went, dang, Dana Carvey. This dude had.
Oh yeah, Wayne's World, SNL.
Oh, he was in the top of the world.
Yeah.
But see, he can continue, and he's going to still get.
And now they have their podcast, which is pretty good.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And I feel like he's always going to get basses and seats.
Basses and seats.
Well, I got to stick it with
This guy's the Punisher over here. They're puns.
I am Attila the
He's
Pun.
adapting to the
Attila
name.
the Pun.
I am Attila the Pun. I love puns. I love this name, dude. I
thanks.
told him.
All week he's been texting me.
Oh, really?
We're doing the Basshole? What's up? Hey, Basholes. Hey,
No. This
Perfect.
was me being an
asshole.
A Basshole.
He was being a Basshole.
Because I kept going. Let me go back to that. I think it's October.
Time out before you begin the story. Remember when I was texting you? I'm like, hey, what day are we doing it? And then he was telling me it was this day. And then I'm like, no, he told me it was because of him.
Oh,
And
I
he
thought
was-
you
he
were
was
just.
be-
I thought you were
No,
drunk.
he
or
was just
something.
being a dick to me.
Oh, okay.
I really was.
No, because you and I had talked about maybe doing another one that date, I think, or something. And I
but
was
no,
confused.
he kept on texting.
Okay,
me.
so it started with this. It started with me going, all right, he and I went back and forth, right on. I just realized I'm texting to him. That's election day, dude.
I
So
know.
we got to do drink the vote. That'll be our motto.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone, get and drink the vote.
Did everyone vote? I got my
voted.
sticker.
Yes.
I didn't
your
get
sticker.
No, I don't need a sticker.
No, I
to
don't believe
fucking
that you
show
voted then.
No,
Oh, he has his
Well, because if people are watching, I don't want to be like, oh, that asshole, that basshole didn't vote.
So I started with, let's, we'll be saying, let's get our drunk basses out there and blah, blah, blah. He doesn't, the thing is, he's not responding to any of these.
Yeah, right.
I'm starting
Radio
to throw
silence.
him, I'm throwing him more. I go, hey man, I'm so ready for grabbing bass. That's the name, right? Oh no, kicking bass? My bad. So excited. Nothing. Ghosting me. Nothing.
Not one response.
And then we go on
What
for a
did you
while.
want me to respond with?
I go, and I left you a message, something, and I start getting irritated with him. I go, how about we call it Rob's a kiss bass? How about that? So I went on and on and on, and I go, dude, don't you see, this is going to be a topic because this guy will just disappear.
He's an asshole.
Well, I'm even amazed that this is happening. It poured in LA today, so I was like, I don't know.
Oh, he was messaging me.
I was like, I don't even know if this is gonna happen.
"It's
I was
scary outside. It's windy.
There's a flood warning.
I go like this.
There
I
was
go,
a flood
I go,
warning,
hey
yeah.
man, do we?
Is this canceled? Is this still on? Is this still on?
This is what makes me laugh is that he said that to me and I was like, what a fucking pussy. And then all of a sudden, that storm that was at you came to my place and it was
Right.
like fucking. I'm like, oh shit, maybe we should cancel this
Well,
shit.
I was setting up for this, and I left the door open over there, and like water just started pouring in. And I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, the studio almost flooded, just like from like you can't even have the studio
My
open.
place was leaking. It was like
Yours was?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's all
God.
leaking
Yeah,
all over the place.
And I was like, hey man, I mean, I knew you were here, so we were, but I was
It's so funny in LA how we are.
LA
like,
doesn't work. It just breaks.
It's like everything gets canceled.
yeah.
It's like, was there a wedding
Breaks
today?
down.
No, it's
Yeah.
canceled.
Canceled,
It's,
yeah.
We're not gonna do it indoors. It's just canceled.
Right.
No one's gonna make it.
That's what he texted me. He goes, first he goes, because it hit, I guess it must have hit
It
my
didn't hit
area
me, 'cause
first.
I was like, what
I
did-
go, oh my God, dude, this is
Yeah.
crazy. I go, so do we cancel? What's going to happen? He goes, it's indoors, not outdoors.
Yeah, we don't do it
Oh,
outdoors. Yeah,
Such
yeah.
a Rob
If it was
answer.
outdoors, it'd be definitely
It's just
canceled.
such a Rob answer, though. You know what I mean?
like, You make it seem like we're reporters in a hurricane and we're going to be doing that outside, fucking
with all the equipment
wearing
in the
yellow
rain.
jackets.
but then that weather got to
it
you.
got to me, and I was like, oh man.
I just because of the streets, because the streets get flooded
The streets
so
get
fast.
flooded,
and I don't know if you know how to drive in. I don't know where you grew up. I grew up in the San Joaquin Valley, so we know how to drive.
I grew
in
up here, and we know
here.
how to drive.
I
That's
grew
it.
up on
We
the
just know
East
how to
Coast.
drive.
I know how to drive in the river, snow and rain. I mean, you know.
Where are
come
you
on.
from originally?
Jersey.
Oh,
Yeah, North Jersey.
hey.
We had
fucking
real
guy.
weather. You know?
Everybody was
This
going,
fucking
hey, get the
guy.
fuck out of here. This fucking guy. This joikey over here. Anyway.
Jeez. Yeah.
I mean, can't you tell he's wearing the New York hat?
Oh, look at that! Now it's raining. Now it is raining in the
It's
studio.
scary. That was really
That
scary.
was scary. The volume was a little high for that, but I liked it because it alerted us.
I
That
like
CJ
it.
was,
CJ
that CJ was on point with
He's
that.
picking his spots too. He's like, he's the
CJ,
wild
how
card.
you doing over there?
I
huh?
love how he's.
By the way, Al Madrigal would always tell me whenever I put a weight on, he would always go. He goes, no, man, you got to pull that weight back, bro. He goes, you get it in the jowls.
The child.
You get it right there in the jowls.
Jesus.
He's right. Why is everybody so comfortable?
Yeah, everyone just
Why is
picks on
everybody-
everyone. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Why can't everyone
I'm
just
always
be
nice to you. I never say anything
Rob, you got a haircut.
negative. Yeah.
It looks great. It looks like a nice haircut.
Thank you
I
very
got,
much.
I got one as well, but my hat is on, so you can't compliment me.
I think comics are just like that, though. What was it? Who was it? I was with a comic in the comics, like, oh man, you got old. And right away, I was like, what are you talking about, you fat fuck? You know, like all of a sudden.
oh.
No. But like, it was just like you're gonna
You didn't
say
say that.
I did.
You did? You know them well enough to
Yeah,
say
well,
that? All right.
well, if he's gonna come at me like that, and then he was like, "Whoa, hey," like fucking, I'm like, "Well, I thought we were playing this game right now. Like, what's going
The
on?"
insult
Like,
game?
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
The insult game is like, "Whoa, don't insult me like that." It's like, yeah, well, I don't know. It's just funny. Like, people can't take it, you know.
Well,
Like,
that's interesting because
can't.
I remember walking into the lobby of the Laugh Factory that one time, and I started busting your balls, and then you got all sensitive around, and you go, "Man, this guy's a bully, man. This is a freaking bully right here." Sanchez.
Wait, when were you a bully? I think you were a bully. Yeah, you've been a bully. You're like a stand-up bully.
Were you guys? Were you guys?
Hey, look at your stand-up.
This is the best, by the way. Cheers! Oh, cheers, man.
Yes, cheers.
Cheers!
Cheers, you
Thanks for
guys.
having
Cheers.
me. I remember I used to do the podcast with Ruben Paul, and I would say to Ruben, "Can we just do one
Were you drinking?
a month where we have drinks?"
you should
he
have
goes-
done
Did you
that.
Did you not drink on his podcast? No drinking.
No.
we don't always drink.
and
on it.
get
well,
this.
you know what? When we do
I think drinking adds
Here's
the
the-
flavor to the show, and I think that people
when
get
we
more.
do when we do like a large group one like this, like we usually have the drinks. But like
Yeah.
sometimes if it's just me and one person, there, I'm not gonna get drunk with someone I don't know that well. But
Dude, I drink
Invite
alone all the
some
time.
random
So-
person.
some random woman that's
So how do you
have a little bit more. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. What did you say? Let me pour you some more.
I got a heavy hand.
Take a shot.
Yeah, well, now we just got canceled, so that's done.
Oh God.
No, I said I don't. I said I don't do that.
So I used to tell Ruben, I go, dude, once a month, can we
Yeah.
let's just have some drinks, give it a little like bar vibe.
Right.
And he would always promise me, we'll do it, bro. We'll do it. We went 2 years on that podcast.
Never.
Never did it once.
Why is that? Now is he not?
I think it was very serious.
Very
when
serious
I listened to
about
the
the
podcast,
podcast.
Yeah,
I
he
listened to a
was-
few of them, and
he-
it was very serious.
He was me or him?
him.
Yes.
very serious.
Yeah, I think he was more
How many
into-
people? Was it just him and a guest?
Yeah, it would be he and myself and a guest.
Yeah.
And then every now and then maybe
So three
no,
people,
No,
three
three.
people.
No, just three.
Three
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
still, it's
Still.
like let's just have like it's once a month. We'll have we don't
yeah.
even need a guest.
I mean,
You know-
and especially it's obviously a comedy podcast, comedians. So it's like it depends on the dynamic, I would say, because like there's times where it's like, if I'm interviewing someone, it's like, okay, it may be weird if we're drinking and like, you get into a serious conversation, but then again, it may not be,
Yeah.
So I think it just depends on like, the vibe and stuff. Yeah, and if he's running technical stuff or whatever, he's
No,
doing,
he wasn't doing any of
So
that.
then he could have drank. He could drink. Unless he's
No, we
unless he's
had
sober or
people
something, but
doing.
Sometimes I'm like, I shouldn't be drinking because I got all those fucking things to figure out while I'm doing this.
Yeah, but it's better in a weird. Rob and I,
think
are Barney's guys.
Yeah,
And
Barney.
not even Barney's. We just like to drink and have a good time, and
It's fine.
And then I think
It's
we
fine. There's
also
nothing
like
wrong
talk
with it.
shit, and then it just
Right.
it keeps going on and on. And our conversation. I mean, I think you're just a big talker. That's what. It's like this guy's the biggest talker. There's no like you pick up the phone from Johnny Sanchez, you get a phone call. I like to make phone calls as well, but like he makes phone calls. It's like, you know, it's a 30-minute conversation.
Really?
Minimum.
So you talk on the phone a lot still.
Oh,
See,
this guy
I hardly
is a
talk on the phone
talker,
anymore.
dude. This guy should have a talk show. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
it's like he's a talker.
And he won't listen to any of my messages.
No, people. Well, that's the thing. People don't leave
no
messages
one leaves
anymore.
messages.
No one leaves. If you
anymore.
leave a message, it better be really like important, right?
Right,
Unless
like,
you send. People now send voice
No,
memos
but he
instead of
sends
texting.
messages that, like, he's just like, "Are you listening still?" Like,
Yeah, I do. Well, I try to have the conversation that I
Do
wanted
you,
to have.
do you save the messages? You delete them.
should I play one of them?
You didn't say it. Did you really?
Yeah, it's saved. I probably haven't even listened to it.
voicemail.
Big jackass. So you are. Freaking bass kicker. Bass liquor, more like it.
Was this today?
All right, man. Let me know what time tomorrow.
No, this is tomorrow.
I would imagine maybe 3.
He's talking about the podcast.
3 since it's near you.
I love how the enthusiasm.
Dude, I'm such a wordsmith and pun guy that I kept telling him, I go, I am so excited about this. And then he tells me, he goes, he said that you couldn't use asshole because I remember when you started with it, right?
Yeah, asshole, yeah.
And I said to him, I go, dude, it's better because it's clever.
Yeah, I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out, but you know what? Because it started with like asshole stories or whatever, and I was like, oh, this is great, but then people were like, well, we don't really want to promote it saying asshole, and I was like, all right. This is the I'm a Basshole show. Guests come on, they talk about a time that they were a basshole,
and you realize everybody is going, it's about time
it's
we
about
get to
time.
something.
I know. Well, you know what?
No, we did a lot. Hey, the wild card.
Billy Joel in the
Say
middle of
juicy.
it.
I'm about to just voice.
You know
Be honest.
what was crazy about that is that my roommate in the time, we bought tickets, cheapest tickets in Anaheim, last row. We went down and had a beer, right? And a guy came up to us and was like, "Hey, are you guys Elton John fans?" And we were like, "Yeah." I was more of a Billy fan, but I was like, "Yeah." I was like, he's like, "Do you guys want to sit in the front row?" And I was like, yeah. So he brought us down from the last seats to like putting our arms on the stage in front of like Elton and Billy's section. And
Why?
They literally do not sell the first 2 or 3 rows to their concerts.
Because
saved-
Elton wanted to fuck somebody.
Yeah,
and
no.
they
So
wanted to see
but
who's
then
in
when we were
front
there,
row.
we looked at all the guys on Elton's side. And it was all these like we were like in our 20s at the time.
Yeah,
it was
there
all
you
these
go.
like young, kind of like good-looking guys. Wait, yeah. And then on Billy's side, there were all these like cute girls. And then like we're watching this show, and it's amazing. It's amazing seats. And then I turn around, and Kevin Spacey's behind us in a tuxedo. And I was like,
No.
oh, I swear
And
to
his,
God.
and his dick was out.
And his dick was out. No. And then I had to sue him, and no. But no, he was there, and I was like, "This is fucking crazy." And I was
That's
like, I mean, these are the
hilarious.
best seats I'm ever gonna have in my life.
So
I'm like,
you were the equivalent.
that was good. There you go. There
I
you go.
get nothing on the one. Anyway, I know I'm a smart ass and I know I'm a ball buster, but I kept going, man, when have I been an asshole? Like and I know I have been plenty times,
Right.
but most of those were when I was drunk. And so I can't remember a lot of them. So we were, I was like just going. And of course I call the Daltons or text them and they're just like, yeah, this time and that time and that. I go, yeah, but that's not a story. It's not good. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
can't
like
be-
there's moments. Yeah.
I'm starting to realize that I've only been a basshole when somebody's a basshole to me first.
Revenge. Yeah.
I'm a revenge basshole, dude.
I don't know about that.
Okay, so let me.
This
let's
story,
let-
All right.
you guys will decide
all
who's
right.
the asshole.
you guys decide.
Because,
All
like,
right.
first of all, like, I'll say this much before. I was
well,
a
you're not
young.
supposed to,
I was okay. Well, I was a young comic, first time on the road. I was
That was?
excited. Yeah, I was.
No,
excited.
that wasn't the first time we were
Yeah,
thinking. Oh,
no,
okay.
yeah, it was the first time
Okay.
he took me on the road. The last time, but it was.
No, we worked together.
But it was like the first time, like I worked with like somebody who I was like I looked up to, and I was like, oh, this
Yeah.
guy, like, he was giving me advice.
Took you under his wing.
Like I this is how long ago it was. I gave him a videotape and he watched it. Like when
What's
videotapes
a
are about to
videotape?
be, yeah, exactly,
No.
we're about to be
for our
obsolete.
for our
and then,
viewers
and
in
then
their 18
he was
year
like,
old.
and he was giving me notes, and I'm like, oh man, this guy's fucking. I looked up to him like he's like my papa.
Right.
And then this happened.
So we do the show at the Sacramento Punchline.
Punchline, yeah.
I have family that showed up, and it's my cousins, and they would always come to the shows in Sacramento.
Right.
So anyway, we get through, like we do the show, and then I go, hey man, we're going to the bar next door. I notice already immediately there's a girl all over Rob, and I was like, well, Rob, we're gonna be next door. So, but hey, my family would like to meet you.
Yeah.
Whatever. So we go to the bar. Rob shows up immediately over there with the girl, and then even one of my.
We were at BJ's. I never even drank.
BJ's?
Yeah, I never even drank like I've never had like a very strong drink. I never had like a Long Island iced tea
You had
or
a
whatever.
beer or something.
Yeah, no, I've never drank that.
Oh, that was
time.
your
I
first-
already-
okay,
I already
right.
went through college, or whatever, but I just didn't drink any of those type of drinks. So
Right.
like, I just like someone ordered. I want to get drunk. Like.
Yeah. They
It
give
was
you-
the last weekend. It was the last day of like doing all these great shows that we did.
Right, celebrating.
We dealt
You guys
with
had
like
great
hecklers
shows,
and this
yeah.
and that. Like, but it was a great
Going
show.
back home tomorrow. or
Yeah,
whatever,
sold out shows, fucking great shows.
It was
and,
it was the Sunday night.
It was a Sunday night show,
last
yeah.
show.
And then
So we go to the bar, and then my cousins, and they were just like, hey, and even my cousin who's much younger than me, but female, she's like, kind of wanted to meet Rob, but and then as we look over, is like, I mean, they're even making out with us. I go, well,
PDA.
maybe this. I don't know if Rob's gonna. And then we would be
He's
like,
kinda
Rob.
busy, yeah.
We'd be like, Rob, and he'd be like, he'd look, with the breaking the kiss. Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on.
Young Rob.
So-
Young Rob in love in Sacramento.
And let me
I
just.
don't know if I was in love.
Let me just, it was a night of love, by the way.
a night of
So-
lust.
Yeah. So it was one of those things where I got the hotel room so he could stay with me. I thought it was.
We had a great weekend. We were.
it was the best. By the way.
And then
But-
like I first started watching King of Queens, and like we had to share.
You thought you were the king of Queens that night. huh?
Here's the thing. We had to share a room.
I was
Yeah, I was
trying
gonna
to-
say.
Wait a minute.
I was gonna say you
Let
guys
me
probably have a
explain.
shared room. Yeah.
So no, but it was. They told me I thought it was a suite. So I had my room. He had his room. It was one of those. Just
A loft.
I had it was a loft. I was
a loft.
upstairs and he was downstairs.
Okay, so there's no
we
like
could
there's no
hear each-
separating wall or anything like that. Yeah,
no
yeah.
separating anything. And I go, oh my
Echoes, yeah.
God, you guys, and they go, no, we never said that. We never, the hotel and everything. So anyway, I hang with my family. I come back. I'm married at the time, by the way.
All right, turn that off. This is the song. Okay, go ahead.
Stop.
So
That's the cue song.
What was the song? It was a movie that was playing with
Oh!
Tom Cruise. It was
All the
about
Right Moves?
NASCAR. No, it was about
Oh,
NASCAR.
Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was on constantly that day on TBS or TNT or whatever. So that song kept on coming on, and then like this guy was getting.
and you also
He
wanna-
wanted to take a nap, and then like you'd hear this
I mean, I
song.
could-
Go ahead.
So I hang with my family. I get back to the room, and then I'm like getting ready to go to bed a little, and then he comes stumbling in with a Jake. And by the way, the girl even goes, "Hey, tonight, yeah, get over here." And she flashed me.
Oh no.
And I go, oh, and then she goes, oh, that's right, you're married, right? So never mind. And I go, yeah, so I go up to the loft.
She was classy.
This guy and her, he's like, no regard. I get it. We're on the road.
How old are you, Rob?
I'm 28.
28.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. 20.
So anyway,
First time on the road.
he's
Yeah.
so blitzed that
You see your future ahead of you. This is going to be like, every weekend you're going to be
I'm
doing
just
this.
excited to be on the road. I
you
don't
were
even
excited.
This is what it's like?
I didn't know what it was like.
I know.
The crowds were amazing.
Right.
Fucking, there was some like
he did great.
Women
He
are
killed-
throwing themselves.
He killed every
and
night.
it was
He
like,
did great
and it was
every
just
night.
so
Yeah.
much fun, and it was like exactly. And this is also a waitress too at a place. So
Oh.
like when you like
From the club?
No, yeah,
Oh, no.
exactly.
Oh.
Not the comedy club.
Yeah, she was a
Oh, she
waitress.
was a comedy club. Okay. So anyway, I go upstairs.
I mean, when you hook up with a waitress from the comedy club, that's a good thing. I don't know.
I mean,
She sees,
It's a bad thing, but
she
it's a good
sees a lot of comics.
Exactly. That's
And
what
she
I'm saying.
probably fucks a lot of comics.
Maybe, I don't know.
But it was a rite of passage for him, I guess. So at the time, though, I'm like, I'm married, newly married, I think
Right.
at the time. So I just wanted to get, I'm just like,
You're
it's like,
tired.
whatever.
Go to bed. Yeah.
Here was the deal. It wasn't like I came home at 9:30.
This was
So-
late.
I got back late. I got back at like almost 2.
Okay.
Because
Bars
my
are
family,
closed, yeah.
yeah. They come stumbling in a little after.
Mind you, this is all blackout, so like I don't even.
You don't
Yeah,
remember?
yeah. I'll let you know what happened. So I go upstairs and I can hear, and then, so, my nickname with him ever since has been, I always sometimes do all caps, SSOB, because they start getting down
SSOB.
and all I hear is, oh my God, you sexy son of a bitch. You're such a sexy son of a bitch. Give it to me. Give it. Now, I never hear him the entire time.
Right,
He's
right.
just pumping away,
It's
right?
just her, yeah.
I can hear him breathing. I can hear him.
He's alive.
Right. And then she's like, yeah, that's it. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, you sexy son of a bitch. Come on, you sexy son of a bitch. And this goes on till, because he had had too much to drink.
He's wasted. Yeah.
He couldn't finish.
Yeah. All right.
So she's like, come on, baby. All right, baby. And then it turns into, come on. All right, already. Let's get this going.
He's sleeping.
Now he's keeping me up till 3:34. Like, I never come down the stairs. I never say anything. I am livid because I got to get up in the morning. We
Right.
got to fly. We're flying out on the same flight.
I don't know anything.
And
I'm
you are,
just
and
drunk.
you are married. You have that married, like
And
come
I
on.
was newly married, by the way.
Exactly.
So I was
Happily
very,
married.
I
You're
just
like,
was
oh
like,
my God.
I can't believe I had
Too
this
old for
guy
this shit.
in
Come
my
on, man.
yeah.
I just want to get home to my wife. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So I finally, this guy finally reaches. Even she was just like, "Hey, you did it happen? Whatever.
Did it happen?
Did it happen?" And he's like, yeah. And then I finally hear him like, "Oh my God," And then it's like talking, and then she's still. They didn't even pass out. But anyway,
Yeah.
this went on till probably 4:35 in the morning.
Oh wow.
I can't get any sleep.
Yeah.
Our flight is leaving at like.
I don't know.
It was like 9 or something.
Oh shit.
So we
I
had to
was-
be there.
So you got to leave soon for the
So
airport.
I get up
Yeah.
and I go, you know what? I want to be. I go fucking because
basshole.
I'm gonna be a fucking basshole.
Yeah, be a basshole.
She
Yeah.
left. I believe she left. Right? She left.
No, she was there still.
Oh, she was still there.
Oh, and you got to check out of this place, no?
Right.
Yeah.
No, well, I didn't have to check out, but go ahead, finish the story.
Oh.
I'll tell you my part.
Okay.
Yeah, let's hear
So
Johnny's version
I
first.
I get up. I get ready, and I go. You know what? I go down the stairs because it was a loft thing, and I look at the. That's right. That's right. You guys are passed out, and I just go. I'm fucking leaving. And I'm not telling this motherfucker
Right.
that I'm leaving.
Right. You're supposed to share a cab to the airport.
We're
or
supposed to
whatever.
share. I go, nope. I'm going to give him a little lesson on the road. So I leave.
I would never do this to anybody.
Okay.
I never have
Fair
done
enough.
this.
All right,
I'm
all right.
going to give you my thoughts years later. But for at that time, I said, this fucking guy, I brought him out. I could have got a local guy.
Right.
I
Yeah.
shared a room with him because that's the room I paid for, or they got me, and
Yeah.
I paid extra, by the way.
You could have been like, you got to get your own room or whatever. Yeah.
I could have said, you got to get your own room.
Right.
He does this to me. Of course, he's going to claim blackout and Long Island iced teas.
Not claim. That is what happened.
Okay.
That's not what it is. I was
So
new
I
to
leave.
comedy.
Doug, I leave.
All right.
I go, I'm out. I'm
Yeah.
going to go catch the fucking flight.
Right.
Guy got the cab, a shuttle, whatever. It was a cab, and I go. Now, what happened after
Okay,
I
so
left? Because I don't.
I woke up in a disarray where I was like, what the fuck? I look at what time it is. I run to his room going like, Johnny, we gotta
No,
go.
no. You started.
No.
Looking
First,
for
you
him.
said you were going, Johnny.
Oh no! First of all, I puked.
All
I
right.
fucking puked.
and then you
And
were.
then I was
Still
screaming. I was
drunk.
screaming Johnny's name, like, hey, Johnny, we gotta go. Fucking. Plane
Was she
flight.
there still?
Yeah. And I just kept on yelling, shit.
Right.
And then finally, like, it took a while, like maybe 10 minutes. Finally, I'm like, oh, Johnny's gone.
not
No,
here.
you told me you went like this. You kept going, hey, man, we got to go. Johnny?
Yeah,
Johnny?
yeah.
And then he went up the stairs.
Finally,
and
no,
everything was gone.
Yeah, everything was gone. I was like,
Oh, he
oh,
left.
he left. But, like, I could have left earlier, but I was trying to, like, wait for him. Because I was thinking, like, either way.
Oh, really?
Yes. And then I realized when he was gone, I was like, fuck, I got to get out of here.
I'm surprised you even woke up.
I went into the cab. The cab's like, my plane flight's at this time. He's like, good luck trying to make that.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
like, all right, like whatever. I got to the airport and I got to where I was supposed to go. Like I was 15 minutes late. Like I would have made the flight, but the guy's like, sorry.
Yeah, you got.
So
that
at this
way
time
too
I
late.
have like really no money. I'm stuck. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? So then I have to like sit at the airport for like another 3 hours or something like that to wait to another flight that went to Ontario. Then I had to call my sister, and then it was like,
L.A. Ontario.
yeah, exactly.
That's the
No,
worst.
it was
having someone
horrible. It
pick you
was
up
just horrible.
You have to go to Ontario.
It was the
Oh
worst
my God.
situation. But it was just like, yeah, it was fucked, man. Like, but either
So you
way,
got
I
another
learned-
flight to
was
Ontario.
was I a major basshole in that situation? I look back years later. I kind of went, maybe
How
I
well
shouldn't-
did you know him at this point?
I knew him well.
I idolized this guy.
I knew him well. We'd worked together quite a bit.
Right.
I just,
I think you can get away with it because like you're comedians, and it's like now this is a great story. But like you know, I
if
don't
I
know.
did that to you, you would be like, Johnny,
No.
you were an
would
asshole.
You're an asshole. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you were
would
also.
I would never do that to any. I've never done that to anybody. I've always left and just been like, hey, if I got a plane flight and even
Did you
if-
try to wake him up?
No.
No.
Okay.
No. I
No
said,
attempt, no
I
attempt.
go,
No.
you
I
fucked
was
up.
getting ready. I even took a shower. I was puking.
I mean, here's the thing: if you were really pissed at him for keeping you up all night, like you were like, I could see being like, no, fuck this guy, or fuck
Right.
this. We'll figure it out later. I'm sure we'll be fine. But you know what? In that moment, I'm fucking pissed. I didn't sleep all night. I gotta go home to my wife, and now I gotta deal with that and whatever. Blah 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 blah. You know, and it's like,
And she
you
was
might
still
be
there.
and you're pissed. Yeah. And the girl was, so you left the girl there.
And this is Johnny Sanchez. He's on the Hall of Fame at the Comedy Store.
Right.
So I'm like, my career's
Wall of Fame.
Wall of Fame.
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking my
You're
career-
worried that he's gonna go
my
tell
career's
everyone that-
over.
yeah.
I'm like, I can't believe this happened. It was like fucking. It was like such a fuck up on my part. I learned my lesson.
Your career's over.
Yeah.
You're thinking that, yeah.
Yeah. No, I just thought like everything was done. I was like,
Rob,
fucking-
what happened to you?
You were right there, dude.
That was it. That was your. That was.
You were right
Sorry, I had to
there.
call back for that. Sorry. If ever.
That's what
I think
happened to
this
me.
is- and I
It
think
was a Long Island iced tea.
This is, yeah, it was a very long Island ice
blue
night.
drink of some sort that like I never tasted
blue-
a concoction
blue
like that.
curacao?
Yeah, like
Oh,
something
yeah.
like that where I was just like, I
Blue,
drank,
no, you know what? Blue
I drank
Alizé.
like 3 or 4 of them.
I got my sister drunk off Blue Alizé in college.
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
It was like some kind of like hypnotic like Alizé fucking malt drink, and it was blue. And she went home with my parents and then puked blue all over
Yeah, and
a gas
that's-
station, passed out, and got stitches in her chin. And my mom was like, "What the fuck happened last night?" I was like, "Well, she had her first drunk experience." I was like,
Okay, so the question is, who was the basshole?
"Who was the basshole?" That is a good question. Yeah.
I mean, he
I would
stayed up all night
I would
banging
say
the
you.
girl.
I would say you
It-
both are, but like for equal good reasons.
But it started.
Started with Rob, yeah. I mean, well, look,
Rob-
he didn't have any etiquette of being like, "Hey, you know what?
I've got-
My friend is in here. I'm sharing.
But-
He's my
Look
mentor.
at him, look at him.
He's my
Look at him.
mentor.
My defense,
Look
I
at
didn't know what the fuck was going on. Like
You
I
were
blacked
drugged.
out.
You were drugged.
I blacked out to the point. I blacked out to the point that I didn't like. It was like a blur. Like everything was a blur.
But you had no problem pumping.
No, but yeah,
You could pump.
But, like I said, I would if it was reverse roles. I would have been like, bro, like wake up, you got to go. Like a plane flight's right
Yeah,
happening right now.
I look back later.
I would never.
I mean,
do that.
I would have
I've
probably,
never
I
left.
probably would have attempted to try to wake him up. Like,
Exactly. Like,
but
I would have tried to.
but
like,
if you were that pissed, I understand. Like being
At the
like,
time, years later, I told Rob, I go,
how old were you when this happened?
I got married at 38, so I was around 40.
All right. So that that's my age right
41,
now. 40,
and
41,
I had been on the road for
Yeah.
a long, like I'd done, and no one
no one had done
had
something
ever
like
done
this.
that to me. So it was, and I remember going,
And he's new at the
and,
like newer.
and I
Yeah.
just
yeah.
brought him like
Right. As a fan.
yo,
as a,
Oh,
dude.
it was an amazing experience, but it was something that I learned from where I was like, oh, like I can't do that. Like now when I go on the road with
Right.
someone else, I'm like, I can't fuck up. Like in that
You
sense.
can't
like,
fuck
yeah,
up.
like
Yeah.
It was a learning experience in that sense because like I have like PTSD whenever I go on the road now. Where what? Is it,
When you wake up in the
Well,
morning,
the last
someone
time,
leave?
the last time you went on the road, you lost your iPad because you were drunk.
Oh yes,
Brand new iPad Pro. Someone fucking left his bag at the bar. Someone stole
yes,
it.
yes, it happened.
So maybe
And
Rob is the
I had been on
asshole.
the road.
I think we got a theme.
I was like,
here.
Rob, are you gonna get a new iPad? No, fuck that. Fuck
No,
that.
fuck that.
dude.
Responsibility.
But in hindsight, I looked back a few years later, and I kind of went, "Yeah, I guess I should have just went downstairs." So anyway, so that was a tough one because it's like he was an asshole that night,
yeah.
but he
You know what? We
claims
should
that
we should really just ask the girl what she thinks of this. Hold on,
her.
we have her here right now.
yeah.
No, no.
She's calling in.
Thank you,
She's still drunk, by the way.
Thank you.
Where have you been?
By the way, because your girl's not going to be listening to this, right?
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. But either way,
Yeah, you know what? You
by
come
the
on the
way,
show, you're
by
not
the
she
way,
safe.
won't listen to this.
She
By the
won't
way,
listen to it. We're live right
he
now,
went
so.
back to the club and they hung out a few more times.
Wait, you went back and did more shows there?
I did more shows in San Francisco. Yeah,
I thought this was Sacramento. No, San
no,
Francisco.
that was in Sacramento.
Oh, okay.
But then I did
In
some
other
other shows
words,
in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like
And by the way, can I just say? Oh, I'm sorry. My wife ended up cheating on me. So
Sorry.
when I look, thank you. So I just want to tell all the comedians out there: if you're married and you're on the road and you're popular and you're doing great, take it,
cheat on your wife.
do it,
Don't hook up. Is that what you're saying?
hook up.
Hook up.
Because
Yeah.
I look
If you're
back,
single, if you're
I
not
can't-
married, yeah.
No,
You-
no,
Even if you're married?
Oh my
Because
god,
you know
that's
what?
the worst experience. Is like thinking about like the vagina that never was. You know,
I
like,
can't go back to Raleigh. I can't go back to Columbus.
You're not
Ohio.
married anymore?
No,
Okay,
because
she cheated,
and then
yeah.
she ended up cheating on me, dude. And then I looked back, going, I mean, I'm
times.
really kidding,
You
guys.
look back going like that
You're
night.
not
That night
kidding.
could have been a threesome because
That
she was
night could have
showing you
been
her
a
tits and
threesome
everything.
with-
you're
yeah.
not. You're not kidding because this guy had so much tail being thrown at him.
Yeah, but that
'cause-
girl was up for a threesome situation.
I mean,
'cause she
this
was
guy-
flashing you and being like, "Oh,
And
you're
he
married."
wouldn't even have remembered if he was kissing.
I
Well, I
think I
mean,
was
well-
kissing Johnny.
doing Eiffel Tower.
And she was really hot. But no, I look back at, especially after when I was on Mad TV, and then I was doing the road when I was on Mad.
You were
And-
married when you were on Mad?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was crazy.
It always
beautiful
seems like
wife, too.
See, it always seems
Oh
like
yeah,
when,
no. Don't get me wrong. Beautiful. Here was
Nice wife, beautiful wife.
Here was my thing that I would do. I would hang out at the bar at the club, and then there would be girls hanging out. Just so everybody knows, I didn't look like this. This was 15 years ago.
You look great. You look great, John.
A young Juan Sanchez.
Anyway,
look great.
so I'm going like this. Anyway,
So we're gonna do the show like
I feel
this.
like there's always success thrown at people like when they are married or in like a serious
It's so
relationship,
tough.
and then
But-
when you're like singing, like then nothing happens. It's
nothing-
like
right.
oh fuck, you know.
It's like you there was so much, and I would always tell the club, I go, here's what we're gonna do. We'll start having drinks afterwards. If there's too many, or you notice that somebody's throwing them, rubbing up, and then the manager would come over. Johnny, you got radio at 5, and I'd go, oh
Signal, yeah,
man,
yeah.
I can't.
this stuff.
It's a tough gig, dude, because especially if you get on something where everybody's seeing you. If you do
Right,
get some.
right.
I
People
hate
know
to
you,
use the
yeah.
word fame. Or let's just say
No,
they
you're
know
recognizable.
you're
You got some
recognizable.
credits. They watch
That's
a
it.
show. They're like,
You're-
oh, you know.
It's insane to me because it's like I said, Doug, you have not seen him perform like in a Laugh Factory set. Either way, but like watching him perform is like watching like a master class and like stand up, but also watching somebody sometimes like this is what cracks me about him was he would dig himself a
Mm-hmm.
hole
On stage.
on stage. No, Doug,
know.
I'm not even joking. Like he would come up there and just be like, it was like he was unprepared or
Yeah.
something. Like that.
Yeah.
But it was the same thing. So it was like it was done like so many times where I was like, how's he gonna get out of this?
Right,
He's gonna be
right.
like, hey, what's going on? Dude? And then like, and it was like no laughs that I.
Yeah.
And then somehow just.
Dig them out.
Boom!
Yeah.
Just and then at the end of the show, everyone was like, "Ah!" Like
Yeah.
laughing, hysterical, like laughs.
Now, is
just
that
like,
something that you would normally do?
I
in
don't
your,
know
your act?
how
No,
he did it.
I
and
was,
it
always I've always been a slow starter. And I had this conversation with Bobby Lee about Bobby always had a hair joke his entire career. So if his hair was up, he'd be like,
Right.
I know, in Korean, I put this hand in a thing. And then later on, the hair was different. He had a mustache. I know Manny Pacquiao on Down syndrome.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like Bobby's always had a way when he gets on stage, immediately, even before he
I
was
think
known.
a lot of comics do that, though.
Right.
Like, I mean,
And-
I do a quick little thing.
I've never had that. I've never had it. I've
Mm-hmm.
never had. I know what you're thinking. This guy had
Making fun of yourself,
right. I
self-deprecating.
just
kinda,
always
yeah, yeah.
started with. I've always been a slow starter, but I always preferred that over a big kill in the beginning, and then sometimes some
Yeah.
comics couldn't sustain it
Right.
through their. I'm
you'd rather-
talking about a 45-minute
Right,
set, by
right.
the way.
You'd rather have
not
that at the
50.
end. Yeah, yeah. Or
So
somewhere,
more
yeah.
of a locomotive, more of a. I was always this, and you know what I mean. And it always took me a little bit in the beginning, and then I just keep going, and then it grows and grows and grows and grows, and whatever. But I was always worried about that bit that you get in the beginning,
Right.
because I've seen guys and girls who to this day I haven't worked with in maybe 8, 9, 10 years. And I go, oh man, I can't wait to see her. And then she walks up and says the exact same thing she was saying. Now for me,
A long time ago. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I just
same,
don't.
same material. Yeah.
There's somebody right now. I'm not gonna say because he and I already got it into it over on social media, so I'm not gonna say his name.
Oh,
But when George Lopez found out that they started together, and he got mad at me for busting his balls about it on social media. And George apparently, when he was told, George goes, he's still doing that joke. He was doing it in 1979. So it's like, yo,
Right,
dude, you
right.
have a 40-year-old opening line.
right. Yeah. That's
I
right.
think
mean,
it's time. I think.
Time to let it go.
Unless, like-
or just
And
change
it's
it
not
up.
more, and it doesn't
change
work
it up.
anymore because
Unless
of the
crowds are like
times.
requesting it, like we love this, bit or whatever. But
I
it's
mean,
like,
Dice doesn't even. I mean, he doesn't do all of his nursery rhymes. Like,
I
oh,
hope
yeah.
not.
I mean,
Jesus
he's
Christ.
got to do
Yeah.
something different. But I mean, comedy is just so crazy because you just don't know.
It's different now in the sense that like you have to constantly putting up like what I've noticed with a lot of comedians like Sam Morril, like all the comics that are hot right now, like top 10, whatever.
Yeah.
They're all just putting on constant
Content.
Content.
And
yeah.
it's not even, but the thing is, they're not.
they put
putting
it
up
out
their-
there with
they're
like
not
a
putting
clip
their
or
bits
whatever,
up. No, they're not putting their bits
They're
up.
putting the crowd work.
The crowd
Crowd
work,
work,
which
yeah.
you're fucking key at. So like, I don't understand why you don't do that.
Well, yeah, but
The
I
crowd
all-
work makes sense because like that shit is
You are
like
crowd
it's lightning in a
work.
bottle and it's never gonna be the same thing
yeah,
twice.
thing.
you know?
exactly,
Yeah.
and that's what I love about comedy. It's like it's organic. You cannot recreate something.
I was doing the LOL Comedy Club, and that's
LOL.
a
Is
5.
that New York?
That's the one in San Antonio.
Oh, San Antonio. LOL.
And
Sad song. You know I love you, right?
this thing is a
Rob's crying. Rob is crying right
This
now.
thing
actually.
is an
You
air-
all right, Rob?
this
Need a
club.
tissue?
I'll get it.
This club is an airplane hangar. We call it the airplane hangar.
Uh-huh.
It seats 500. The ceiling is about 45 feet. It's just one of the, and they would bring you in on a Thursday
Right.
when nobody's there, and they'll start the room with 12 people in a 600
Mm-hmm. Wow.
seater.
That's crazy.
So one night,
12 people. 600
12
seater. Wow.
people, dude.
How uncomfortable.
It's stand up, dude.
So I'm doing it. I bring not Rob, but James Ponce, a friend of mine, who's still my friend.
All right.
James from San Antonio. But that night we had 18, and they were all spread out.
Spread out. They didn't even seat them together.
Didn't even see them together. So they go, we got to start. It's the rule.
Right.
I go, there's no, give them tickets for Friday night. And I remember thinking to myself, why am I not just coming here on Friday and Saturday? Why
Yeah.
am I doing Wednesday through Sunday? So, and this was when I actually was legitimately on stuff.
Right.
And I couldn't pull anybody out on a weeknight. And so James goes out and talks to every single person,
All 12 of them.
all 18.
18, yeah.
And then, are you over there? And I
Right.
remember going, what are you doing, dude? You only had 20. I've got 45. So I go out there and I'm just like, oh yeah,
can't-
Kevin
Yeah,
and
you already know
Tracy.
everyone now, yeah.
And I go, such a raw move. I remember
It's-
thinking that in my mind
man.
in San Antonio. In San Antonio.
It's
It is.
not a
See,
raw
well,
move,
see what's
though.
crazy though, because like when you do get to a crowd that has like 10, 12 people, it's like your first instinct is to be like, I gotta talk to these people
we
because
gotta
if I just jump
It's-
into
it's-
like
It's
this
okay
bit,
the front 4 or 5,
Right.
but you can't then point to the people in.
the
I even
back.
told James.
Well, it was bad.
James asked me one time. He goes, "Hey man, why'd you stop using me?" I go, "Remember San Antonio? Remember?"
Well, it was the one
San
time I did a
Antonio?"
show with
did he fuck
Sanchez.
anyone in your room after the show?
No, there was 300 people one time at a show, and I like talked to all 300 people, and I was like, fucking talking to Johnny's like sitting in the back. What the fuck?
You went and you did a meet and greet with each person.
No, it's just it's just weird because
Yeah,
the rule
yeah.
and the rule used to be as well. The headliners would come up to you. They'd watch your set
Mm-hmm.
right the first night, and they'd come up to you. They go, "Hey man, I'm already talking about."
Right, don't do this bit.
I go, "You're not doing that. Otherwise, you're leaving."
It's
And you would literally go, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, it's gone.
it's hilarious.
Gone, yeah.
I was on the road recently, and I said diarrhea, and then the headliner was like, "Don't use diarrhea."
Oh yeah.
Okay. Did he really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, seriously?
Yeah, no, seriously. Like he's like,
That,
no,
that's
no.
my
Like
thing, yeah.
I was off the stage. He's like, "What the fuck? You use diarrhea?" I'm like, "What?" Like, okay.
Okay, that's too much. Like now, like
It's
I did
hard though because like if the headliner has a like a big bit that involves whatever
Diarrhea.
diarrhea or like
If it's
you're
a big bit.
and then you're covering the same topic even though it's entirely different or whatever, it's like the audience may already it's like, all right, we laughed at that already even if
Yeah.
it's a totally different point of view.
We want everybody to vote. Who was the
Everyone
basshole?
please vote.
Was it Rob or was it Johnny?
I don't know.
Sanchez?
I think you guys were both.
I don't think I was an asshole.
Oh no, you definitely were an
I
asshole.
was an asshole, but like I didn't know.
You
I
didn't
was
have
being
any
an asshole.
etiquette. You weren't like
I didn't know. Like I didn't know. Like
you
I
were
was gonna
so
get that
drunk that it like took over the whole situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I was worried about him. I was trying to wake him up. Hey man, you gotta get on your flight, dude. Like I was
Right.
like,
But in the moment, you were just worried about that girl's,
no. At that moment, I was just like, I don't know. It was like my first time on the road. Like,
Right.
what are you gonna do in that
Yeah.
moment? Like,
And I look back now, it's like I didn't realize it was the first time. I forgot.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what I mean. With 28-year-old Johnny, like if the roles were reversed, would you have done the
well,
same
first
thing?
of all, I would never like into this.
Yeah.
To
Yeah,
this
yeah.
day, I have
And we're
never
all-
left.
By the way, are we
okay,
that
but-
many years apart?
Yeah. I've never.
like, yeah,
I've never missed a flight until that time. That was the
was
only.
it?
That was the only time I've ever missed a
And
flight.
she had to pick him up in Ontario.
and at least it wasn't that far. It was like not cross country or anything. It was just like. That's good. No, you know what? But I think it's good. You taught him a little lesson about being on the road and traveling.
That's what I was trying
Well,
to do.
I
at the
PTSD
time.
Because
now.
you hadn't traveled that much before then, have you? No.
No, I mean I traveled like to like another country or whatever, but like doing like
Doing
like
a road, but
gig, like,
doing a job and then being like, I gotta go catch this flight. And
yeah, it was like getting
Well, hey
paid
man,
money to do
it-
something I love.
what's
I was
worse? What's worse? What I did, or me working for the first time? I'm a feature, working for Ron White at the Tempe Improv,
that's a crazy story.
and then the first night.
this is what you should be hearing.
He's great. Hey, good working with you, man. We're gonna have a good weeks. Then that was Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday. Man, you funny. You are funny as hell. Or whatever. Now I'm turning black. But anyway. Then Friday night comes. I'm having great sets, by the way, Doug.
Yeah.
Great set. And we're completely opposite.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And the Tempe Improv was a mixed crowd. So there was Latinos there. I mean, it was just.
Everyone, yeah.
And then Friday night comes along. He thinks, oh, you just think you're the shit, don't you? You just think you're all that.
Wow.
And then Saturday night he goes, I gotta be honest with you, I can't stand you.
Oh my God. How many shows?
7 shows.
Wednesday through Sunday or something?
It was back then.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
Wednesday through Sunday,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
By Saturday night, he literally said to me, "I
man.
cannot stand your ass," and he didn't talk to me on Sunday.
Wow. Now, do you think it's because like you were doing better than him?
I just think, I mean, I was killing,
Yeah.
and he's still doing great.
Right.
And this was before the blue collar tour.
Blue Cop before.
This is
Okay.
before.
But that's an interesting thing. So it's like if you are killing, because like some headliners want like someone that's not okay, they're good.
Yeah,
I don't want
yeah.
them to be as good as me or better than me. So it's like if you are on equal level as him, some people might be like, this guy's too good to be my opener.
Yeah,
Or
I
don't know.
always
Like some
felt
people
like-
are weird like that.
I always felt like this. That feature in front of you should be a great setup.
Mm-hmm.
They can't be shitty because the audience is pissed off. They should almost be going, this is how I always felt. The audience should be saying, man, this headliner better be good.
Right.
I think
Right.
that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Man, he better be good because this girl or guy, we loved him or
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. Like if this is
I think-
if this is the opener, we're in for a really great
I
show.
think what
Yeah,
sucks
something
is
like that.
I think what sucks is the fact that like people like, I mean, if you're not the headliner, and you're like doing like 20 minutes, like you have like zoned in, the laughs. You like it's like that's like your fucking sweet spot.
It's a sweet
Right.
spot, dude.
Right.
It's
It's a sweet spot. It's right after the host.
Yeah.
The crowd's like fucking
Yeah, they're
live.
warmed up, they're ready. Yeah.
They're- They've only had a couple drinks in them right now. They're like, fuck yeah. Like, and it's like, and I've
and
noticed that.
the expectancy is this.
Yes, exactly. Like, who the fuck is this guy?
Who
this
is
guy's
this
not
guy?
going to be as good as the headliner.
Right.
And then, like, all of a sudden the headliner comes out. It's like, oh, man. Like, you have to fucking bring. That's why I don't like the pressure of that.
Of the headlining spot?
Yeah, like the
Oh,
headlining.
yeah.
Like, just sell tickets or whatever. Like, I've never, like, I wasn't on a TV show like you were or whatever, like, to the point where, like, or, like, to have enough credits to be like, yeah, I'm gonna be the headliner. But even when I'm headlining, that's just the way I am. I'm like, oh, man, like, I don't have those credits.
Well, yeah, because it's
So
like
it's like-
it's like when they announce, oh, here's your headliner. It's like it puts you on that pedestal of like this guy is what he is.
He's
It's
above
great.
the rest
He's
of the-
above the rest of the group, and,
And
it's
I've
like,
done plenty of shows
Right.
where all my features fucking bomb and I fucking go up and I have a great set. But that's like,
yeah.
It's great.
yeah, exactly. But like,
But you don't want that.
I
But
feel bad for the crowd.
You wanna
'cause the
have a
crowd
good-
just
you wanna
wants,
have a
like,
good show.
Shitty
Yeah.
fucking
it's about the show. But you got to find your feature that works for you. They're not going to step on anything.
Right, they respect you.
They're going to respect. You know,
They're
back in
gonna
the
respect
day,
your sleeping space after the show.
They're not gonna bang some broad and be like, "You
But,
sexy
you know-
son of a bitch."
the comedy, it's so interesting because you're trying to find the right. I remember doing the Cleveland Improv one night, and
Oh,
you
I've
know
done
who
that.
you know who featured for me, dude? A killer as a feature, by the way.
Right.
So he comes in, and this would always happen to me, by the way. I'd get on the road in these weird clubs, and they would bring the local headliner to feature for me.
Really?
I mean, it was brutal, dude.
Uh-huh.
Like, because they didn't know if I could, I guess, if I couldn't
Well, it's
headline
kind of
great.
right.
You know.
it's probably like a good opportunity for the local. headline.
Chris Porter.
Chris
Porter.
Porter. Yeah.
Chris Porter
Chris
features
Porter.
for
Hilarious.
me.
Very
Okay.
funny.
Thank you. My first time at the Cleveland Improv.
Very funny.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So
And
he kills it, right?
He's murdering it. And I remember going, I can only do I've got to do all A stuff. Like I got to be a little more. And I remember one dude walked up to me because it was majority just white people.
Right.
So they went nuts for Chris Porter as
Right,
well.
right.
And I had to adjust. I remember going, oh, okay, I can't do the stuff off the top about me. Like I couldn't walk up going, hey, just so you guys know, I'm third generation. I don't speak Spanish and whatever.
Right,
I had
right.
to just go for like topical.
Yeah.
to get them on after Chris because he was murdering. And I remember one white dude walking to me. He goes, "Dude, I got to tell you, man. Every time we come here, we're just like the feature's the best. But tonight." He goes, I said the same thing to my friends, man. I go, ain't no way nobody coming on after that dude. Dude, man, props, bro.
Oh, nice.
I mean, it was,
Nice.
and I remember and Chris was also selling merch, his CDs and stuff. So they were all outside.
Was he on Last Comic at the time?
Dude, this is way back.
Before
This
that.
is
Way
like
back,
05,
yeah.
06. He really should. I mean, he was a
Now,
headliner.
Is
in
that weird for like the feature to be selling merch, or like some headliners are like don't? do
Yeah,
that, right?
remember back in the back in the day,
There's a lot of rules.
nobody
There are, yeah.
sold
It's a
anything.
fucking lot. It's a
except
lot of rules.
The headline, it was
Right.
rules.
Well, because it was like
fucking
it
lot
was
of
like
rules.
it was the guys who worked their ass
right.
off.
If anyone's
Yeah.
gonna buy something, it's gonna be from the headline.
You know, my favorite story is George Perez was doing a show somewhere in Texas, I think.
Love him.
And
by
the
way.
promoter, who said that?
I love him, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah. George is great.
Very funny.
Very funny, cool dude.
Kills it.
Only real live cholo I know. Yeah. Anyway,
It's jail time and all.
yeah, everything. Great dude. And he hit the promoter, promoted George as George Lopez.
Oh,
So everybody's like, "What? George Perez, George Lopez is coming!" And the promoter just put an LO in front of Perez.
Wow.
And then George was
That's
just like,
crazy.
"Damn, dog!" Everybody was expecting.
And then he had to go up.
And he had to go up and do the show. George is so honest. I remember one time at the comedy store, I walked up and he goes, "Hey, what's happening with your social media, dog? Little Joker has more followers than you, homie."
Hey, what happened to you?
What happened to you, homie?
Yeah.
Anyway, so we were on what were we on a second ago? I know we got to cut it pretty soon.
So you were talking about what's his name?
This is the best podcast ever.
Featuring.
By the
for
way,
you.
I'm showing up every time.
featuring for you.
I'll just be
in-
back there.
in Cleveland. Yeah, we've talked about having someone just behind the wall and doing bits back there. But,
I remember I did a show one time where the headliner
Crazy.
was fucking selling at the Tempe Improv. He's like, "Hey, dog." You know exactly.
Hey, what's up, dog?
Hey, what's up, dog?
En La Puente. La Puente. Anyway. We'll tell him after. We'll tell him after.
Anyways, he just kept on like
La Puente bad boy.
he was getting like fucking jealous just because like girls were coming up to me and talking to me, and he's like, "Hey,
yeah.
hey, Rob, you think you're fucking bad?" You know, like it was
well,
like,
he heard about the
I'm
incident at
just
the
like-
Sacramento club. Or whatever. It got around.
I mean, you know what's so funny about that night with in Sacramento? It's my cousin. She goes, "Yeah, Rob, I didn't know."
She wanted to meet you, right?
Well, yeah, she wanted to meet him. And here's what's crazy. I'm really bad judging dudes. I've always been bad at this.
Johnny
I
didn't want to
think-
fuck me.
I think guys are just kind of gross and ugly. Like I don't get handsome dudes. And my cousin goes, I go, oh, he's over there, and then Rob's like,
Yeah.
right. And I go, oh, what's she thinking? She goes, oh no, Rod's a cutie. He's a cutie patootie. I go, he is? Because I can't get a read on dudes, and I'll tell you why.
That's why you know he's not
Because
gay.
women
Gaydar is off.
go on. Yeah, I mean, I am the first. I think guys are so disgusting, and it's so funny because myself included.
He's got a daughter.
Yeah, I mean, my daughter. She's already telling me. She's like, I'm looking like mama, right? And like, even Bobby gave me the cricket thing where I look like a cricket, and then Felipe gave me the
Daddy, chill.
what's up, raccoon? That was Felipe. Hey, we got a raccoon in the comedy.
Oh my god.
So I know I'm very odd looking. I'm so lucky that I ended up.
How
with
old is your daughter?
11. She just turned 11 last week.
11 years old.
11 and 5.
Now is she
5'2".
Is she interested in going into the comedy world at all?
No,
Performing.
please don't. No.
Please, I'm trying, but
You
she's
don't.
already doing musicals,
She's doing. She likes acting.
and
She's got a performance bug though.
yeah. Her mom's a theater
Yeah.
actress.
All right. Well, it's in the family blood then. Now, if she wants to pursue this, are you going to be like do something else? or are you going to be like?
I would push her to do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same
It's
time,
brutal.
I think you're gonna
This
like.
is a brutal business.
It definitely is. It definitely is.
And
but you
yet-
know, but you know how it is. Like you are.
It comes
you
full circle. You should get that black girl to come over to your daughter and be like,
who?
the one that say at the comedy store.
Ooh,
Oh yeah. What happened?
baby,
brutal.
ooh, baby. Oh.
Now, do you think there will be a
she's Asian. She's Asian.
Do you think there will be a reunion show with the two of you again, going on the road anytime soon? Bringing
know-
Rob. Now that Rob is settled down
And he's
a little bit,
established
now. He's got his.
You
he's
know
got
what
a-
I'd like
got
to
a
do?
kid. He's got his girlfriend. Yeah,
Doug, great question. You know what I'd like to do?
Oh, sorry.
Oh my God! All right.
Here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to do a
Yes.
show with Rob.
I'm back.
He headlines.
Okay.
I feature.
You feature. Yeah, I'll host it.
And you host, and I do
beautiful.
only questions. I only ask
Only
questions to
questions?
the audience.
Let's
We'll
dance.
all do
Let's
questions.
do this.
Yeah.
And then I let Rob come up
Let's do it.
and then try to do
Yeah.
his
Let's
little.
do it.
Let's do it.
Let's
Because
do it.
all I wanted from Rob once, out of a unique question, I just wanted Rob to kind of go like,
Time out.
Wait a minute. No time out. No time out.
Anybody have tattoos? That was it. And someone would
not
tell
it.
me their tattoo, and I would be like, and I would play off of it. That was it.
But bro,
That's crowd
he
work.
knows he's gonna find
That's
somebody
crowd
with
work.
tattoos.
Right. Someone in the crowd probably has a tattoo.
He would literally go like this. Anybody?
I wasn't like, anybody have parents? Anybody have
Yeah,
parents?
you would.
Anybody? No, I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
you would.
Get
And he would kind of go
outta
like this.
here.
Anyone alive?
Yeah, oh my god. That's the thing is, I make fun of comics.
Does
that do
anyone
that.
have
It's like,
sex?
anybody here have a mom?
Well, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a show. Rob's gonna close.
Perfect.
65 minutes.
65 minutes.
65.
Wow.
You're gonna open.
I'd like to see. I haven't seen Rob do it.
Yeah.
out.
No,
I'm
no,
out.
no.
I'm out.
We're gonna
I'm
we're
out.
gonna
I'm
do
out. I'm out.
what
You're
I
out.
have to do.
It's a paid gig.
Because remember, it's a paid gig. It'll be a paid gig.
Yeah.
And remember, back in the day, dude, the clubs at Sacramento everywhere, they'd go like this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we should do
we're
it.
not done. We're not. You got. We're the
You gotta
waitresses.
stretch
So
it.
I
we
had
Yeah.
would,
I
we would
had to do
stretch
that
to
for you.
65. No,
We
not
should,
you.
we should do.
No, I had to do that for you at the punchline that weekend because fucking there were some like drunk hecklers and shit like that. Like fucking.
Well, I think here's the thing. I think that you guys were both kind of a little bit of an asshole in your story, Johnny. But
Oh,
you were
really?
trying to teach Rob a lesson, which I do think was valuable for a 28-year-old Rob DeRocha at the time. Something he needed to
Go
learn.
back to Rob. Damn it. I almost had that
Something
drink.
he needed to learn on the road.
Yeah, he needed to learn that.
Yeah, and you as a mentor, you were putting it out there. You were trying to set him up
I
for.
would
never
do that.
You
to
would never do
anybody.
that.
Ever.
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 Johnny,
Ever.
are you single now? Or are you in a relationship?
Oh, he's single now. He's ready to mingle.
All right.
He's-
So see,
he wants
so
to-
when we do this show, I'm single as well. So like maybe the roles
Yeah,
will be
but
reversed.
you're only
Yeah.
what?
I have 41.
So such a great time, by the way. Can I just say
40,
no.
41's a great time.
It is a great time.
Well, I'm
30s?
freshly almost divorced, so that's why I'm like.
Oh,
that's
any
why-
kids?
No kids. No kids.
Okay.
This is why it's
All
not,
good, dude.
I think it's.
I'm sorry to hear that, but
Thank you,
but
no,
if
it's
but
good.
if it
It's all
works,
good,
I
yeah.
mean,
I think it's going to be a good time. It hasn't
but
become a
let
good
me
time
ask you
yet,
something.
but soon.
Let me ask you something.
Yes.
Is it because of your career and what
No.
you're doing, or no?
No, it's not.
Don't
no.
tell me it's cheating.
Yeah, sort of. I haven't gotten into it publicly yet, but I'm going to eventually. But
Okay.
yes, it's a juicy story. It's a good story.
Okay.
But
I'll let it go.
I will let you know when it's released publicly.
Well, it's great meeting you, dude.
Yeah,
And-
for sure.
And we got to work together.
We gotta do something,
comedy.
yeah.
And then it's CJ. I want CJ not as a comedian.
Rob left the podcast.
As a
Look, he
se-
just fucking left. Yeah, CJ, take his seat. I don't even know where the
fuck
fuck.
of this guy.
Rob just left. What kind of professional? See, look, that's what he does. Like
I feel
who
like
does
I
that
go-
on a show?
God,
He's
look
not
how
like
dark my eyes are.
Johnny. Is there anyone that you want to nominate to be on the show? By the way, I always ask guests if they think someone was an asshole or they think they're worthy of being on the show. Anyone you want to
Well,
nominate?
I mean, how do we get Bobby Lee on here?
I mean, I'd love to have Bobby Lee on.
Bobby's an asshole. He's a
That's,
great
that's the
asshole.
point. People that are assholes should come on.
He's a great little asshole. He's a smart ass. He's a little dickhead.
I'll release this clip and just tag him in it. Maybe he'll be like, "Oh,
Yeah, release it. No, he release it because he'll get it. Oh, what about Eric Griffin?
oh yeah, Eric would be great." Yeah,
Yeah, he's assholey, man.
yeah. I can ask him.
Assholey, really?
He's very assholey. And Eric will tell you, it's like, and we talked about that feature spot. Let me just tell this one story about Eric. I call him Eric Griefin because isn't Eric always complaining
Rob
about
is now
something?
kicking CJ out.
Eric Griffin, yeah.
Eric Griefin, man, give this motherfucker the light. So when Eric was featuring, he would tell us, he's like, man, I'm murdering this shit. They better bring me back as a headliner. I'm killing, I'm crushing these headliners. I remember telling him, I go, Eric, don't bury the headliner, dude. You'll get brought back. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Man, whatever, Sanchez.
Why do you have to vocally like throw it out there to everyone? I'm always like, I'm like, it's like, I don't get
So then, cut to about 10 years later, Eric headlining everywhere with workaholics and. I remember Eric walked up to me and goes, man, let me tell you something, Sanchez. I'm sick of these features trying to bury my ass. I go, dude, you were that guy.
Right.
You were burying headliners.
And now they're thirsty and hungry.
And they're thirsty and they're hungry.
Yeah.
So at the end of this, everyone, here's a note. Don't be a basshole and don't be Rob Della Rocha. Okay.
Della Rocha.
Della Rocha. Don't be Rob.
Rob the Rocha.
You should do De Rocha the Cocha, like a soccer coach guy. You're Argentinian or something, right? No, you're Brazilian and El Salvadorian.
I thought we were friends.
Salvadorian.
Now you're just making
Do you guys
up
still
stuff.
do You don't do characters anymore. Do you do characters still?
By the way, I'm the one
Mad
that.
TV. Do you do any of those characters still? Bring them back.
Man, I don't know, eh? You're asking a lot, homie. Because you know what? Hey, wait. Am I on or what, eh? Hey, not next to a Salvi, homie. Oh, that's messed up, eh?
Oh, there we go. We got the props and everything. Perfect.
Shit.
There we go. Nice.
What up, Doc?
What, eh? Wait. Let me check it out, homies. All of you. Check it out, eh? Where's the camera, eh? Right there or not?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Anyway, how about these Salvies coming over here and taking our people's jobs? Oh, that's messed up, huh? Check them out, eh? The El Salvi. Orale, what, eh? Anyway, check out. Hey, don't forget to vote for Ignacio Hernandez, a.k.a. Nacho Hernandez, a.k.a. Little Joker, eh? What, eh? For mayor of L.A., homies.
There
Did
he
you guys
is.
write it in or not, eh?
Little Joker.
What happened?
There you go, everyone.
God,
Johnny
beat it and
Sanchez,
everything.
Little Joker.
Thank you for
everything.
having me, man.
Johnny,
Thank
you
we gotta work
you-
together, dude.
We definitely do. Yeah, we got to figure out that show that we're gonna do with Rob headlining.
but
you-
we're doing it.
Yeah, Rob should headline.
We are
100%.
doing it.
And
40,
there's-
do it.
and there's-
65 minutes.
And there's just
65.
there's a
65.
giant.
I don't want to do
65 minutes.
And all there is there's a giant
45.
poster of Rob's face, like for the marquee. That's it.
Perfect.
That's it.
Perfect.
We're
Let's
not-
do it.
We're not even mentioning that we're on it. We're just it's just
Sell the tickets.
Oh, by the way, all in green, so he
Perfect
can
for my
pop his
eyes.
green
Yes,
eyes. Oh,
yes.
so gross.
You know the beanie you were wearing was green. It just popped his eyes a little more.
Oh yeah, it was great. Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
check that out, eh?
All right. Well, Johnny,
Thanks,
you have
dude.
come on the show. You've come
You
on.
have been here.
You have
Yeah.
been an asshole.
You walked in here. You sat in our
You,
studio.
I feel like I wasn't a big enough asshole.
No. You were. You've redeemed yourself
See?
by
You're
coming
being
on
an
the
asshole.
show. So there's only one way we end the show. Usually we have the guest state their name and say that they are a basshole. So the floor is yours.
This is Johnny Sanchez, and I'm a major basshole.
There you go, folks. Johnny
I'm
Sanchez.
all about that bass. About that bass. Oh, I'm
He
basshole.
is a
I'm all
basshole.
about that bass. About
But
that
he has
bass.
redeemed
Oh,
himself
basshole.
by coming on the show today, so he can now go in peace and live his life in whatever way he wants. Johnny, thanks for coming on. Rob, thanks for
Man,
coming
thank
on.
you, man.
CJ, thanks for everything you've done for the
Thank
show.
you,
I
CJ.
didn't do anything.
Yes, no, you did a lot. You did a lot. All
Yeah,
right,
ruined
guys, I
everything.
just want to remind everyone to follow us on Instagram at Basshole Podcast. And remember, don't be a basshole, but if you are, laugh about it. Ciao.
You've been listening to I'm a Basshole with Doug Bass. Follow us on Instagram at Basshole Show. Think you deserve to be on the show? Email us at contact@bassholeshow.com and visit our website at www.bassholeshow.com and get the latest information. Subscribe on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast fix, and don't miss the full videos on YouTube. Remember, don't be a basshole, but if you are, laugh about it. We'll see you next time.